Welcome to the Perfectly Disordered Podcast. I'm your host, Briella DiPasquale. This is a place where heroes' journeys are told, where stories of hope are shared in a time when it's needed most. We shine light on the messiness of life so we can ultimately become the hero of our own stories and not just a background character in someone else's. Enjoy the show.
I remember you said that on one of your podcasts, right? Or
yes, but I didn't push record. I know, it was horrible. Okay, cool. We're on.
Cool.
Okay. All right, let's pick up these mics and pray that they work. All right. Hi. Hello. Okay, let me get myself situated and not move.
You have to stay perfectly still this entire time.
Yes, it's like okay, so let's take notes. Fist distance away from the mic.
Fist
still.
Didn't sound right.
Did not sound right. I immediately regret that decision.
We're gonna jump right past that.
Yes.
Cut.
Molly! Welcome to the Perfectly Disordered Podcast.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, I'm so excited.
It's an honor.
Yeah, this is we talked about you being on a while ago, I feel like. Yeah.
Yeah,
so it's
for sure.
It's about damn time.
Yeah, I'm excited. Every episode, 10 out of 10, knock it out of the park.
Stop, oh my god.
It's your guest, not you.
Oh. Yeah, no, honestly. Yeah, it's true.
No,
I facilitate. People are so interesting. It's easy. It's easy to get the stories out. People
Everybody's got one.
Yeah. Well, I am excited to have you on. You have such an incredible, inspirational story. First off, I've known Molly for forever. Childhood besties.
Forever.
Like, literally, how old were we?
Definitely elementary. I'm thinking maybe we met in 2002. I just remember 2002.
Oh.
So maybe 6 years old?
Jeez.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a long time. God.
Something like that.
Oh.
8 years old. 8 years old. Let me do the math correctly.
Yeah, don't ask me because I won't get it right.
I just remember you and your brother came up. We met at church. Came up to me. You introduced yourself as Briella. And shout out Lorenzo for his episode.
Yes.
Lorenzo came up to us and said, "Hi, my name is Lorenzo. I'm Italian." And that is how he introduced himself. And to this day, our family still talks about that.
Yeah, some things don't change. He's still on brand.
Now it's "Hi, I'm Meatball" and I'm Italian. So.
Exactly.
Shout out.
Well, it's I guess it makes sense because we did meet at church.
We did.
And so a lot of the story that you're going to tell today does have to do with faith and perseverance.
Absolutely.
So I want to hear the story of how you overcame challenges in your first marriage and how God redeemed that and brought you full circle. So, if you could take me back in time and tell us about your first marriage and what you hoped it would be.
Yeah, absolutely. I think as like anybody thinks as like a little girl, they're going to get married. It's going to be one and done. It's going to be the fairy tale. We grew up with Disney and I am a huge Disney fan. So,
Same.
I got the Beauty and the Beast tattoo. It's just, living my best Disney life. But, that is just not how it panned out. So that is, you go into it as this is going to be my best friend. This is going to be my support system, my partner. I was with my ex for 6 years.
Dude.
So it was...
I forgot it was that long.
It was a long time. I mean, in the grand scheme of life, I guess it's not a huge amount of time.
Sure.
But if you think about,
how long when you got together?
I was 22.
Okay, so really pretty young.
22, 23.
Yeah.
Something like that, yeah. So we had a great relationship in the beginning. It was very stereotypical of we did everything together. We laughed a lot. We were great friends, and he came to all of the things with my friends and my family. It was very involved.
Yeah, he was very involved. He was in everything with you.
Totally. We hosted game nights with friends. I was very involved with his family and very close with his mom and his sister. And we had a great beginning to our relationship. And once we got engaged, really was where there started to be a turn in, like a shift in personality. But you're excited to get married and you think like, oh, it's just jitters.
Right.
There's nothing going on there. It's just, nerves.
Yeah, and everyone's human. Everyone makes mistakes.
Human.
Yeah.
Totally. And so I just, part of my faith, I just wanted to give him that grace and be like, he's probably nervous. He's stepping into the role of a husband, which is very brand new for him. And he didn't grow up with a father around. So I think that was part of it too, is he stepping into a role as husband, head of household, but he was in a very female dominant household. I mean, his mom and his sister were his whole world, really. And he had aunts that were very involved. So I think there might have been some of that, and I'm, totally guessing here because we never talked through that aspect in the end, but there was a total shift. But I noticed, like, my best friend started to change personalities, and I was like, you know what, that's gonna be fine. Everything's fine. Everything's
They'll
gonna
come back
be okay.
around.
Totally. And we got married. We had a beautiful wedding.
Your wedding was gorgeous.
Oh, thank you.
And I actually remember him taking his mom onto the dance floor in her wheelchair, and I remember that making me cry because it was one of the most beautiful things I've seen at a wedding. Honestly,
that was really sweet. Yes, his mom was she was in a wheelchair for most of the part when she went out. So yeah, he did. He borrowed a wheelchair from a church, and he did their first dance in a wheelchair with her.
It was so special.
It was very sweet.
Yeah.
And he was like, I can look back and be like, oh, it was terrible. It was bad. But you know what? It wasn't all bad.
Yeah.
There were parts that were, you could see his heart.
Yeah.
Things like that. He loved deeply. He did love his mom and his sister very dearly. And I do believe at one point he did love me.
Yeah.
But yeah, we had a beautiful wedding, and then after the wedding, I noticed that his personality just started to 180. He went from being very goofy, very fun, very involved, to aloof. He didn't want to hang out with my family anymore. He stopped wanting to go on dates and do things with me. And that was very apathetic. And yeah, he had a hard time holding down a job. I would help try to keep him employed.
Yeah, I remember that was a big struggle.
Yeah, so there was a couple different, things that we had a tough time with. But towards the end, it got to be where he was just very aloof. And at the very end, a few months before we separated, he sat me down. I remember it was a Tuesday morning, like 9 a.m., because I was working from home. He was like, hey, can I talk to you real quick? I was like, yeah, absolutely. What's up? Sat on the floor. He sat on the couch, and he was like, It was so weird.
He has the high ground.
He didn't have the high ground. I just remember, I was in my computer chair, and I was like, I need to separate myself from work to, like, engage this conversation. And he was already on the couch in the middle of it, and I was like, whatever, I'm just going to get off and, like, crisscross applesauce this,
Right. Keep it cash.
To be honest, that, I never thought about that. That is such a weird vibe.
It's a very weird positioning.
What did I do to myself?
Yeah, no, not great. Not a great position to take in some trauma. Continue.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, it's like kindergarten. Get in the sharing circle. We're about to share, guys.
That's really and you're gonna cry.
Right? So yeah, it was very weird. What we did was I sat down and he just said, hey, I just want to let you know I don't know if I love you, and I don't know if I ever have. And this is,
oh my God, how
6 years into being together.
And how long into being married?
A year and a half.
Gosh.
Yeah. And so obviously I was shocked.
Yeah.
I just was like, okay, what? I couldn't really process that.
Yeah.
I just told him, okay, I need to step away and, like, process. I need to think. And I believe he left and went to a friend's house or went somewhere. But I went to my sister-in-law, my brother and sister-in-law's house. And I just said, hey, I need to talk. And yeah, I vented it out, and at the time, my sister-in-law was the only person who knew what we were going through. I'm sure friends and family had an inkling.
But you kept it pretty private, and I feel like that's kind of a part of your faith too, is you want to protect the marriage.
It absolutely. I never want to put anybody on blast.
Right.
And especially like, even though there was pain and hurt, I never would want to publicly shame or attack somebody. That's not what the Lord would want for me.
Right.
So
right. You were trying to, like, I remember, when you talked about this later on, like, you're really trying to seek God in that relationship, and you were trying to do everything you could to be a godly wife when, being faced with this man who was changing. And I think that was really hard for you.
It absolutely was. Yeah, I mean, faith has always been a huge part of my life. And there were absolutely times where I've, struggled, as I believe most people that would call themselves Christians or have a relationship with the Lord. So everybody goes through highs and lows. Yeah. I'm definitely not perfect. I'm perfectly disordered. Shout out.
Yes, that's why you're here.
But I am by no means perfect, and this whole experience really taught me grace and patience and trust. And it's so funny, I always did a word of the year. My mom kind of started that trend in our family and instilled that for like New Year's Eve. So it was like, okay, going into the next year, what word do you want to embody for the year? And in 2021, my word of the year was patience. And that was when all of this went down. Wow. And so I kind of took that at first. I'm like, why is all of this happening to me? Yeah. Why am I going through this? What is happening?
Can you take me back, though, to...
Absolutely.
So, like, when... Sorry, I want to get back to, like...
Yeah, I'm jumping.
No, you're good. You're getting to, like, the good part.
Yeah.
I'm going to stay in the nasty for just a minute.
Let's go back.
Give me the tea. So all right, so he said he didn't love you anymore.
Yes.
And you went to Briella and Casey. And you were just, sharing with her more of what was going on.
Right.
And so at the time you thought it was just, he doesn't love me anymore.
He doesn't love me.
And that's the story that you were told.
100%.
All right. So then kind of walk me through that next piece.
Yeah, absolutely. So it became a what next? You're put into this deep end of, okay, I am married. I'm in this part of my life. My trajectory was staying married, having kids, building a life. And it went from, okay, I was just told by my husband, I don't know if I love you, and I don't know if I ever have loved you, which is a really hard thing to hear.
It's devastating.
From your partner.
At a year and a half married.
A year and a half in. Newlyweds.
Yeah.
Newlyweds. Like, we come back from our honeymoon, we're married for a few months, and then it's like, hey, babe, don't know if I'm in love with you. So then you start to do the, what did I do wrong? Mm-hmm. What's wrong with me? Why doesn't this person love me? And then I went down the, okay, well, I've done X, Y, and Z as a wife. So I'm like, I'm cooking, I'm grocery shopping,
I'm praying, I'm doing all the things.
I'm praying, I'm going to church, I'm reading my Bible and my devotional. Like, what is it that I failed so miserably at as a wife that this man says, I don't love you. I don't know if I ever loved you. And like, I had to have done something wrong. And so obviously at that point in life, I was like, I need to see a therapist to walk myself through this whole experience, and try and see if I can save it before it gets to divorce. Yeah. So that was my next steps. So I quietly went through therapy. Nobody knew. That was just a very personal thing that I went through. Shout out to BetterHelp. Sponsor Briella.
Please.
BetterHelp, sponsor Briella. So yeah, I mean, I had a great therapist, and she really helped me realize that I was married to a narcissist. And walking through what that was more of a, you didn't do anything wrong. There was nothing you could have done.
There was no winning in that
scenario.
There was no winning.
It was someone playing a role, playing a part, feeding into, I'm a husband, I'm a great man, I'm doing all this, and then getting tired of that role, and then 180 is who they truly were.
Yeah. Which led into betrayal, ultimately.
Yep, absolutely. Very betrayed. Confusion was really the biggest feeling, because it's like, who have I been dating? Who have I been married to?
Yeah. How did I not see this?
Yeah, it's pretty wild. So, yeah, that time was really tough, but my therapist was amazing.
Yeah.
And she really helped walk me through that time period to trust in the Lord and to know that what I was going through, I wasn't alone. There was other people that were dealing with that.
Sure.
And the biggest thing was I had to keep telling myself, this was not your fault.
Mm-hmm.
So for the women that are going through divorces and have had people say, I don't love you, I don't want to be in this anymore. There's the easiest thing in the world as a woman is you just want to nurture, you want to care, you want to be that for that person. And then you're like, well, what did I do wrong?
Yeah. How can I fix this?
Yes. That's our natural inclination. It's just, I want to fix things. I want to be this support system. I want to be this strong woman. I want to be, everything for this person.
Yeah.
And, yeah, it's a lot of, self-realization that that's not my job. My job is not to be your everything. My job is to support you. Yeah, I can't be your mom.
Yeah.
I cannot be your mom. And that's another thing. That's totally another subject.
Yeah, oh, definitely. Well, I feel like, so you were doing like all this work on the back end, trying to like fix this. You're trying to seek God, seek therapy, seek counsel, keeping it pretty quiet because you wanted to protect your marriage.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then, I feel like you spent a while doing that, and then to find out like there was infidelity.
Yes.
In your marriage. And again, I did not know about all of this until it was essentially all cleaned up.
Yeah.
But
that's pretty much when I expressed it to most people.
Yeah. So like, what was that like, finding that out?
Yeah.
And then navigating divorce.
Yeah. So that's pretty much the wildest story out of all of this part. Mm-hmm. So if you're driving, buckle up. You shouldn't be buckled always.
Yes, no, buckle up, please.
Yeah, that is the craziest part. So, here's the story. We're still married. He had just said, I don't know if I love you. I don't know if I ever did. He told me that a month maybe before my entire family, my sister-in-law, my brother, my parents, my ex-husband and I were to go on a family trip.
To Arizona, right?
Yes, from Maryland to Arizona. That's a long flight, and it was about a week. I think we were there 10 days to celebrate my dad's 60th birthday. So this was a big trip. We had been planning this for a very long time.
Yeah.
And I wanted it to be honoring and celebratory, and we were so excited. We had all of these really fun things planned.
It looked like a good time.
And to be fair, it was. It was. And we did a lot of things separately from my ex. My ex went off on his own a handful of times. And
did we get a tattoo without telling you guys?
He did.
On this trip?
He did. That was part of it.
Yeah.
I mean, just the most unhinged, chaotic energy.
You all are just trying to celebrate your dad.
I know, we're like, pop off king, go get your sleeve done. Who has never had a tattoo before ever? This trip was, he got like almost a sleeve done, which is like so crazy.
So bizarre.
It's he like
big red flag.
Yeah, off the rails. But the hardest thing for me was I didn't want anybody to know because I wanted the focus to be on my dad. The whole thing was a family trip. We're celebrating my dad. I did not want them to be like, oh my gosh, my daughter's going to be going through a divorce. My daughter's struggling in her marriage. Like, I absolutely didn't want that to be the focus.
Yeah.
And I knew if I told people, they'd be checking up on me and, and he was on the trip.
Yeah.
So that would have been really awkward. So we kept it quiet. At this point, I wasn't confident that there was infidelity.
Mm-hmm.
All I had known was he said, I don't know if I love you. But, when someone says that, there's something else going on deep down.
Sure.
So on this trip, I noticed he kept his phone very tight to the chest.
Mm-hmm.
I asked to borrow it at one point, and he said no.
What?
And I was like, I just need to check something. My phone is in my room.
Gosh.
Can I please just get on the internet real quick? And he's like, no. And then he pulled it up, logged in, went to the internet. And he's like, what do you want me to type in?
That's bizarre.
Very odd energy. one night we went out to grab a pizza, and as we're driving, his phone was plugged into our rental car. Our rental car had Apple CarPlay.
Oh,
and you know what? Shout out Apple CarPlay. I'm going to shout out all these different things. Catching the cheaters out in this world, because there was a girl's name that popped up on the screen that texted him. And she was actually at our wedding as well. She was a friend at the wedding. And I knew they were friends, but I was going to click on it to listen to the message. I was like, oh, someone texted you. And it was a quickly, nope, shut that off, and didn't play it. And I was like, what is going on here? And I was like, hey, are you, like, good? What's happening here? He's like, no, just don't worry about it. It was very dismissive and nervous, and that's
you just knew.
Telltale, gut feeling, you know when something's happening.
Right.
So I was like, okay, he's cheating on me with this person. In the back of my head at that moment, I knew it. So we go on with our lives, and we go on with the vacation. We went to this really cute little animal farm that was in the middle of the desert. Everyone in my family went except for my ex. He went to get a tattoo. And the tattoo artist gave him a lift back to the Airbnb. It was so strange.
So weird.
So strange. So he goes home, arm totally wrapped up, full tattoo. The funny thing is when I was there, I really wanted to get a mountain tattoo. Mm-hmm. And I do have it.
Yeah.
But he got the same one.
So weird.
He's an indoor cat. Like, this guy is not a mountain person. Is not a nature person. Doesn't like to do any of that stuff that's like vibey, I'm going to go hang out in the mountains. And he got the same one that I did.
Yeah, that's
which
weird.
Is so strange. So, I don't know if he ever got it covered up or if he's just living his best life with his girly mountain tattoo, because it is very feminine, y'all.
Very millennial.
It is
very millennial
lady.
It is
a vibe. But yeah, so we flew home, still kept it a secret, and the only person the entire time that knew that what was happening again was my sister-in-law. So she was a rock for me, because when you're going through something like this, you want to talk about it. And she really did help me through that vacation. But once we got home, there was a weird period where he just said, I need to go think things through. He checked into a hotel, and he stayed at a hotel for a week. And when he came back, that's when he said, to be honest, like, I think I blocked out a lot of it, but he said something like, we need to talk. And I just said, you're cheating on me. You're cheating on me.
Ugh.
And he just kind of hung his head and was like, yeah. And I don't know if it was with multiple women. I have a feeling that it was, but I know for sure the one person, before he told me, this one person that I was friends with on Facebook just because of the wedding, blocked me. Before I had said I wasn't planning on reaching out to her. Like, that's your bed, you lie in it. Like, if your thing is sleeping with married men,
dirty sheets.
I'm telling you, if that sucks that she felt that she had to do that. Like, I'm so sorry that, like, whoever you're dating or not dating is, like, so bad in your life that you're like, oh, I like my friend that's married. I'm going to sleep with them. Like, if that's your thought process, like,
there's something else.
I am so sorry that you're struggling. Yeah, there's something deeper there.
Yeah.
So that was really hard for me, because my faith, again, is like, pray for this person.
Yeah.
Love this person. We're called to love our enemies, and man, I felt like I had a lot of enemies that day.
Yeah, definitely. So then you found out, or you discovered it, he shared it, and you're like, yeah, I know, dude.
Yeah. I was like, I'm very aware that you've been, putting in other ladies.
So then you, obviously divorce was the last thing you wanted, but I know that in that moment you were like, I'm done.
Yes. I told him to get out, actually.
Yeah, you said, I'm done. I remember you said you had, like, taken all of his stuff out. It was, like, a whole thing.
Yeah.
His sister came to get his stuff, who was pregnant.
His
Very weird.
pregnant sister
was lugging his stuff.
He wasn't brave enough to
come get his
face
stuff.
me. To come get his own stuff. He sent his pregnant sister.
That's wild.
I I felt horrible for her, but I wasn't home to help load
Right.
things up. I just said, hey, I'll put all of his things outside. And he sent his pregnant sister by herself. If that doesn't shout character,
Oh,
I
yeah.
don't know what else does. Like, that should make you sick to your stomach. That
Definitely.
he couldn't come get his own stuff.
That's a lot of cowardice.
It was horrible. I felt so bad for her. That was probably one of the worst things I felt so sick about. But yeah.
So how did it feel to go through divorce at such a young age?
Tough. There's a stigma to divorce. You know, when someone says I've gone through a divorce, there's always like, oh, what happened? I'm so sorry. Or what, like, did he cheat on you? There's always like this
questions, and there's some shame.
Yeah.
Especially when you're a Christian, I feel like.
Yes, there is that, you know, there's things in the church where some people will look at divorce and be like, oh my gosh, I can't believe that, you know, he would do that or she would do that. That's not what the Lord calls us to do. And
or that you should have saved it.
Correct. Yeah. And, you know, the Lord redeems all. And by the grace of God, the church that I'm in right now, there's actually, it's a denomination, it's non-denominational, Sovereign Grace Church. Every single member that I have met at my church has been so warm, so welcoming.
Oh, I love that.
And it's totally like healed my heart of that shame
spiral.
Shame spiral. And even I am remarried.
Yeah, we're gonna get to that. Yeah.
But my new mother-in-law, she is amazing. We have so much in common.
Yeah, she's a sweet lady.
Love her. But she made the comment to me. She said, I want to let you know if anybody has ever said anything to you about going through divorce, you tell me, and I'm going to handle it.
Yes, we love that.
You know, there's so much redemption all around. But yes, going through anything, whether it be, you know, drug addiction, alcohol addiction, divorce, mental illness. It doesn't matter what there is a stigma of like, oh, you know, that poor soul, bless their heart. There is a very outside looking in shame.
Mm-hmm.
But I've come to realize that a lot of that is we're putting that on ourselves. I haven't had a single person say anything negative to me about my divorce.
Mm.
It was all me putting it on myself.
An internal dialogue. Yeah.
Absolutely. I was the one that was saying, this is shameful. I will never find love again. If I go on a dating site, like, I don't want to put divorced under my name. Like, I don't want to put that in my bio. Mm-hmm. There are so many things I'm like, no one's going to want, you know, broken goods.
Oh, it breaks my heart. And then you had to, you know, you moved back in with your parents. Mm-hmm. Like, that was a very private process. Like, I know you definitely had feelings of like being a failure and shame and that internal dialogue you're talking about. I know that got very loud for you.
I dropped out of college. I'm divorced. You know, there's all of these different things. And, you know, you're constantly have that self-dialogue going on when you're going through something traumatic.
Yeah. And,
I really did tell myself, you're a failure. You suck. You're never going to find love again. You had your chance. You're, you know, old now. Who's going to want you at this age? And you know what?
The ripe old age of how old?
I know. I was
so young.
29.
So young.
29 when I was looking again.
Yeah.
I was still in my 20s. And in my head, I'm like, you're an old maid.
Geriatric.
And it's because I spent basically my entire 20s with this one person. And I was like, I wasted my youth. I could have been out having fun. I could have been doing all this stuff. You know what? No. I learned so much during that time, and I think that matured me for who I am in my relationship now. If I hadn't gone through a lot of that, mm-hmm. then I wouldn't be the wife I am today for my current husband.
Definitely.
So, yeah.
So what role did faith play in those dark moments?
Everything. There wasn't even... It's not even a role. It was what I leaned on to survive. So my relationship with the Lord is so personal, and it's not I'm clocking in Sunday morning, then I'm clocking out. It is such a personal relationship that it feels like I'm sitting with a friend right now, just having a conversation.
Yeah.
So if I didn't have that person, I had the Lord, I had the Holy Spirit with me the entire time I'm going through this, I'm talking to him and I'm yelling too. I'm like, screaming, why are you doing this? Why are you allowing this to happen? And that's, I think, a dialogue a lot of people have, especially with, there could be cancer diagnosis. People that have passed. There's always the Lord, why are you doing this?
Yeah.
And for me, I'm like, okay, it's going to be to learn something. I have to get to the other side of this. And biblically, I know, if you read the Bible, which is it reads like a Game of Thrones novel. There are some crazy things.
I just finished the Old Testament, and that is...
Whoo! I need to watch...
Lordy.
Yeah, for sure. I need to start watching the Chosen.
Me too. That's on my to-do list.
I've heard that it's really good because it is peak content. The Lord wrote the best book for people. There's so many crazy stories.
It's super gross.
People's heads get chopped off.
It's so gross.
Woman drives a tent spike through a noggin.
It's a lot.
There's so much happening.
Mm-hmm.
But I can look at that and say, okay, this person went through something insane. I'm going through a divorce. Let's try and compare how the Lord brought this person through this trial versus what I'm going through in this trial. And being able to lean on that and lean on these stories and go through devotionals. I read a lot of Lisa Turkist books.
I've never heard of her.
So Lisa Turkist is amazing. She's a Christian author, but she also went through a divorce.
Okay.
And so she's wrote a few books about either divorce, hardship, going through tough times. And yeah, really, if you just type her name in and you find one, she just spoke to my soul. So that was another part.
I love that. Can you think of one thing that you read from her that really stuck out to you? Maybe a concept that she shared?
Yeah. So there was a book on boundaries that she wrote. And it was really about, she talked about how by setting up yourself away from a situation and saying no to things and shutting things down isn't bad. It isn't hurting somebody. It's just blessing you. So for me, going through the divorce, there were so many people that wanted to know every detail, wanted to know what was happening. And I knew I just can't air out all this dirty laundry to strangers. Even though what my ex did to me was horrible. It was. I'm not gonna lie. It's dirty, it's gross. I felt betrayed. It was confusing. But the whole world doesn't need to know every nitty-gritty detail.
Definitely not.
So it was about saying, thank you for your concern. I'm doing great now. Thank you. And then just letting it go and not feeling bad about that. Just because you're setting a boundary and saying no to something doesn't mean that you're being a bad person, a mean person. You're just setting yourself up to not have negative energy coming at you constantly. And that was really hard for me because I'm a people pleaser.
Yeah, it's definitely an interesting concept to say that it's blessing you. I've never heard of that before.
It's blessing you to set up a boundary.
Yeah, I've never
Absolutely.
heard that before. So is there a specific moment when you started to feel hope again? Can you think of a moment when you were like, I think it is going to be okay. I think I could put myself back out there.
Yeah, I think probably through therapy. I went through a different therapist post-divorce and while I was going through my divorce. And yeah, there was a time where she said, you're still young. You have your whole life ahead of you. And I didn't believe that. I was like, I am an old lady.
I knit all day. I cry.
I do knit and crochet all day. But you know what? Granny hobbies, they keep you young.
10 out of 10. Keep you sane.
They keep you sane. And it's so funny. I saw a meme about granny hobbies keep you young. And I'm like, that's a hilarious oxymoron, but I love it.
Yeah, definitely.
So yeah, there was a time where I was like, okay, you know what? I'm going to put myself out on a dating app and just throw it to the wind, see what happens. And I did get a lot of response. Not all of it was 100% who I would want to date.
Sure.
But there was a boost of confidence. Because it's like, okay, well, some of these guys are decent looking and, you know, they seem like they got a good head on their shoulders. So I'll chat with them and then you get to know, like, they're crazy. They are unwell. Some people that are crazy. You get sent a lot of unsolicited images over Snapchat. We'll leave it at that.
Gross.
And even on the Christian dating apps, like,
they can be a little sketchy.
I'm
like
not
awkward.
Yes. I'm not even gonna lie. Like, you can find somebody that, you know, is self-proclaimed, I love the Lord, I'm looking for this in a wife. There's a couple different things on that site too, where there's guys that, you know, they're looking for the trad wife, and it's very controlling. Yeah. And, you know, there's different things that you have to kind of void. So that was the disheartening thing, but there were other things that gave me hope because, you know, there were some people on there that I was like, okay, I could see myself getting back out there. Yeah.
How did you approach dating at this time, like with God at the center? Like, how was that different for you?
It was very different, to the point where I wasn't dating just to date, because in my 20s I was dating to look around to see who I wanted, and, you know, it nothing felt serious. I've had a handful of different boyfriends, and you've had the dishonor of meeting some of them.
Listen, same.
You know,
I'll just say same. You know,
yeah,
it's humbling.
It's humbling.
Sorry. It's so humbling. It's choking you up.
I'm dying over here. I was trying not to laugh, and oh my gosh.
Our past love lives are so gross.
Honestly, though, they all teach us a lesson about what you do not want. So, you know, praise God for that. But yeah, I think that we went through a time. Actually, repeat your question for me, because I'm going to go off a different trail.
Oh, you're good. It was, how did you approach dating differently with God at the center? And then you tell me about meeting Hudson.
Okay. Yeah, because I was about to derail something totally different. So, yeah, I really wanted to find somebody that was dating with a purpose of looking for a wife. I wanted someone serious. I wanted to make sure that whoever I was dating was actively involved in a church. That was very important to me. I wanted to make sure that whoever wanted to date me was actively reaching out to me and was pursuing me, was making effort towards me. Because in past relationships, I definitely did a lot of the initiating. And I was tired. Like, I was like, you know what? No, I want to be pursued. I want people to open doors for me.
Yes.
Like, I want...
Being that feminine.
Yes, like, pay my check, you know?
Yes.
Like, I want to be wined and dined. And that is something that I never really pursued before in past relationships. I was very like, you know, it's 50-50. I'll pay my part of the bill.
Heck no, ladies.
And I'm not doing that anymore.
Absolutely not.
We're not doing that. We are not doing that.
No.
So... that was very important to me, that it's not about the money, it's about the effort and about the attention. Yeah, it could have been
the pursuit.
Yes, it could have been the dollar menu. I do not care. It could have been McDonald's. As long as you were like, I want to take you somewhere. This is what I can afford. We're going to go out. If it's a cup of coffee, I don't care. $6. Pay for something for me and show me that you're pursuing me. So that leads to my wonderful husband, Hudson, who I am so head over heels for, and he's just the love of my life. And I never would have met him had I not gone through all of this. So, you know, praise the Lord for trials.
Yeah, definitely.
And tribulation. Like, it is a tough thing to have, but it brought me to where I am now, and I am so grateful. Like, so grateful. So... I met him online, Upward.
Shout out Upward.
Sponsor. So yeah, he was a diamond in the rough. We'll say that. There were some tough people on there that
What stood out to you about him?
He was very cute in his profile picture. I'm going to say
quite
that.
Adorbs. Very Cullen.
Very Cullen.
Very Cullen.
He looks like an Edward Cullen type.
I remember you sending me pictures.
Dude, everyone...
And I was like, wow, oh my God, you're right.
It's so funny. That was everyone's first reaction was like, he looks like a little bit of a Cullen. Like, yeah, he's a little pasty, but he's got that cut jaw, those blue eyes. Like,
it's true. It's true.
Lord gave me a honey, and I'm grateful for him.
Cutie patootie. He's watching a baby right now.
He is. He's babysitting. He's great with babies.
Yeah.
Oh, my heart, my ovaries. So he's a great man. So initially I was like, he's very cute. His profile picture was him flying a plane, wearing an Orioles hat.
Very cool.
He is a pilot. So he loves, all things aviation, and he likes photography and art, and so like his
trains.
And trains, planes, trains, and automobiles. I'm pretty sure that's a movie. That's his whole personality. Yes. He's a typical dude. But yeah, there was definitely his profile pictures. Most guys, they do the fish thing, right? They're holding fish, or they do the gym selfies, and they're very like bro-y and douchey. And his were like very artsy. And I was like, okay, we got a little artsy guy. I've never dated an artsy guy like that. So I was like, kind of intriguing. And then his profile was very, he spoke about the Lord, his intentions. He was very upfront of like, who he was and his passions, his interests. And it wasn't, he wasn't trying to be funny. Yeah. He wasn't trying to be like silly, goofy. I'm just on here trying to, find a lady. Like, he was very intentional.
Yeah, very clear.
Very clear.
Yeah.
And he liked whatever sent a like or whatever that is. And then, he said, hey, I'd like to take you out for a cup of coffee, only for me to find out his Oriole bird hat was a total lie. He was not living in Maryland. His mileage was like 800 miles away, something crazy. I thought it was an error because he had a Baltimore Orioles hat. I was from Baltimore, and he was living in Atlanta. And so I told him, no way. I blew him off. I said, there's no way.
Today.
I said, I'm looking for someone local, honey. I was like, you seem like a nice dude, but I'm not doing that. So yeah, he really made me eat my words. He drove 14 hours to buy me a cup of coffee. He stayed for the weekend with his parents who live here in Maryland, and then went home. That was it. And then after that, we FaceTimed at least 2 or 3 times a week. We texted constantly. He came up and spent Thanksgiving with my family. Was very intentional.
Yeah.
He did everything that I had prayed about. I made a notes app in my phone. I feel like all girls have like crazy note apps.
Oh, 100%. Mine's
grocery lists and then what I'm looking for in a man.
Yeah. Actually, exactly it. Yeah.
So, I prayed over that, and he really showed me what an intentional pursuit of a relationship looks like.
Yeah.
And I mean, that healed my heart more than anything. I'm so grateful for the Lord for him. I mean, he is to a T what I prayed for. Yeah.
I could tell, like, just the way you were with him and his being so attentive to you. And you could just tell he was all in. He was really pursuing you. And it warmed my heart to see, like, such healing and, God rewriting your love story. It was a beautiful thing to watch. How has marriage with him been a reflection of God's faithfulness?
What a beautiful question. Truly, it is, he embodies what the Lord is for the church. So we always hear that in the church, the Lord is the groom and the church is the bride. So it is not a leadership over like manipulation. There's not like a power struggle, which I think a lot of people have like a false sense of what that means when there's like, I will obey my husband. That is a really tough thing for a lot of people to hear.
If they don't understand it, take the time to research and understand the dynamics and what that truly means.
Right.
Yeah, it can be very triggering.
Totally. And especially, I mean, I was in a very narcissistic relationship, and hearing obey someone like
and get very twisted.
Absolutely. And the way that it is the Lord only wants good things for you. He only wants you to thrive and to come to him in love and in grace. And if your husband is looking out for you and is coming to you for love and only wants the best in you, the decisions he makes is going to be
what is best for you.
What is best for you, absolutely. And he honors his wife by involving me in decisions. So it's not like, I'm the man, I'm going to make all the decisions and you're going to just follow along. It's like, no, it's a total partnership. And he just really embodies like love and care. And I feel so cherished. He will not let me open a door. If I get to a door, he'll make like a boo-boo sad face at me. He's like, no, I got to open that for you. And he calls me Pookie.
That reminds me of like monsters.
We are so gross, let me tell you.
You know, googly bear.
Yes, that's so us. And I know it grosses people out. It's so funny, and sometimes it's kind of fun just to like lean into that. But yeah, I mean, he is who the Lord has designed for my personality type. Because I am a very like strong, independent. I can be very, very type A.
Yeah.
And he is so chill, so go with the flow. He's very like, okay, whatever you want, honey. Sure. And he, he will go out of his way, though, for, like, dinner dates. He will make a reservation for us.
Yeah.
He will, he'll try and show up in, like, outfits. Because he knows that, like, I like to dress up. So he'll be like,
to be fancy.
I do. And he'll be like, what are you wearing? So that he can try and match me. Like, he will do cute little things so that, like, if we want to take pictures or selfies, like, we kind of match. And
he goes out of his way. He tries to, like, meet you with what you want.
Yes, absolutely. And it goes both ways. Like, I will do that for him as well. But, there's a trust that I have never felt before that I feel with Hudson.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you guys kept a lot of things sacred for your marriage, and I think that built a lot of trust
We did. I didn't talk about that, but
it's okay. We don't have to dive into that too much, but I think that you guys being intentional with the way that you dated, I think that did build a lot of trust for you going into the marriage, for sure. I do want to go into two last questions.
Yeah.
And then a closing, because my baby is getting ready for a nap soon.
Aww.
So, yeah, because we could gab forever.
We love Avalora.
Okay, so what would you say to someone who feels broken by divorce or heartbreak?
It's not the end. There is hope, and I would say a good starting place for someone, even someone that it doesn't have faith. A non-believer could read a Lisa Turkis book and get something out of it. But I would say that you're not alone. Other women have gone through something, similar, either if it's a divorce or if it's a hard breakup, if it's infidelity in any relationship, that you are still worthy. You didn't do anything wrong. It's not your fault that someone else was unfaithful, that you are not the problem. Because I think that it's really easy to internalize that you are the problem. And that is false. That is false news. Fake news.
Fake news. Fake news. Fake news. All right, what encouragement would you give to someone waiting for their own story to be rewritten?
That it is all in perfect timing. In rushing into something or trying to take something into your own hands is not going to further the story. That you are meant for your person at the right time. I would not have been the wife I am for Hudson today if I hadn't gone through everything that I went through with my ex-husband. I learned so much that I am now who I'm supposed to be for my husband. And I couldn't have rushed that. I couldn't have changed the timing on that. And the Lord has somebody in mind for every person if that's what they're called to. So it's don't rush it and keep your eyes open.
Yeah. All right. If you could go back in time and picture yourself in that dark place, and if you could speak over that version of Molly and give her one piece of advice, what would it be?
it would be, I would probably want to hug her and say, you didn't do anything wrong.
Yeah.
You didn't do anything wrong. And that the Lord is going to redeem more than you could ever possibly wildly imagine this story. And that your faith is going to be stronger than it ever has been. Yeah.
That's beautiful. Thank you for sharing this story with us today. And
thank you.
I feel encouraged. Thank you for your vulnerability, and watching you rewrite your love story has been very inspirational. So I hope that anyone listening who has a similar story or is going through something like this will also feel encouraged. That it's not the end, it's
not
just the beginning.
It is.
Yeah.
At the ripe age of 29, you can still find love.
Absolutely, absolutely. All right, where can people connect with you? Any Instagram, whatever you want to share, and then we'll close.
I run a Etsy shop, and I do knitting and crocheting. That's been also part of my therapy. Can't tell you how many beanies I made through my divorce. Everybody, it's like I was the Oprah of divorce. So you get a beanie, you get a beanie. So I'm at Molly's Knits, MOLLYSKNITS, on Instagram and Facebook.
They're quite adorable, I just want to
check
say.
it out. Yeah, thanks.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks for being on the Perfectly Disordered podcast.
It. Happy to be here, and thank you.
You're very welcome. Yay, we did it. I love you too. Thanks for being on.
I felt
oh my gosh. No, you did a great job. No, you were fantastic. You were great. Oh my god.